Good morning, savers. It's about 60 degrees. Boy, my head is just getting a little goosebumpy here. Maybe it's a little cooler. It's supposed to be in the mid 80s today, so it's gonna be a warm one. But we haven't had many this summer, so thanks for joining me today and joining us in our morning walks. Let's see, it's weekdays now, so I think we're just going to be kind of, oh, that's right, meeting with a good friend of ours down the riverfront for dinner, meeting her boyfriend for the first time, so this should be exciting. Saver thought for the day: I don't want to be over dramatic, but I'm starting to see a lot of my bad habits getting the best of me, by Ben Geppert. Boy, Ben, you are talking the truth. Habits is everything. So whatever you create as far as a habit, whether it's a simple one or a pretty complex one, they run your life, and or run my life too. And you look around the U.S. and just all of our health problems and all of our mental health issues, not all of them, but many of them around just having bad habits and doing things that don't benefit you. I think so much part of this channel, my hope is to just create awareness within each of us to identify what works, what doesn't, eliminate what doesn't, and do more of what works. Habits, eating, sleep, nutrition, work, family life, downtime. I think so much with the electronics. There's a lot of habits that create bad health, bad mental health, and just not having the life you want. And I think so many times just the way we think is such a beginning habit that really impacts so many things, so many other things. But would love to hear from you. You know, is there a habit that you'd like to change? A habit you'd like to enhance or increase? Because we can do both of those. And I know one of mine is just getting more exercise. One focus for this year, just being outside more. Being with nature is one habit that helps you have a happier life, and just giving yourself more time to focus on you and just be. It's as easy as that, versus having to do all the time. So if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. I'd love to have you join us every morning on the morning walk, and just being mindful and just being aware of what makes us happy, and doing more of that. Well, let's see what's going on in the front yard. We've got some new activity. We have a new flamingo in. There she is. Let's see if I can zoom in. And where's Frank? Is she? I don't know if it's a she, actually. There he is. Right there. Good morning, Frank. And not sure what to call to the other one, so have to get Frank to the side sometime and hear about what's going on in the front yard. Man, new activity. It is a nice 80-85 degrees out here, and I just realized I have not been done any yard update. Been a lot of changes. Summer's coming and gone, supposedly. About halfway through summer at this point, or through August, and all the blooms, a lot of the blooms are starting to leave. We still have some bees on what's left of the lavender plants, and but things are kind of wrapping up. I haven't harvested a zucchini yet, but we have some, and maybe a handful of tomatoes. So let's go check out what's going on. I think it's just a good habit to get into, kind of staying aware with what's going on in nature, and I just like to see things grow. And it's every year is a cycle of rebirth and reblooming and growth and dying and going into winter and coming back again. So let's go get them. Yeah, the lavender plant is pretty much wrapping up. Still a few. This is interesting. It's not a honeybee. A little. I don't know what kind of bee that is. Buzzing around here. They're still liking it though. All the lilies are gone. It's been a couple, 2 or 3 weeks since I've been out here. Things are kind of wrapping up on the flowers. Definitely need to trim the red hot pokers. These have been a really nice flower. We've had 2 blooms on them. I don't think we're going to get another one, but let's see what. Yeah, I think they're pretty much done. I don't want to bring any attention, but here's Frank. He hasn't moved too much today. We have a new addition to our little crew in the front yard, though. I need to get Frank by himself and see what's going on here. It may be a relative or a new interest of his, or not sure. Now this guy is blowing me away. So remember when the fig tree got ripped in half and I essentially just cut it down? This has grown over 2 months, and look how it's actually coming out of that split where the deer had pulled it apart. And then this was coming up. I think I'm going to try to cut those off, root them with some rooting hormone, and then plant them for next year. Because coming out of this root is not going to, or this stalk is not going to do well. Well, we just harvested the blueberries about 4 days ago. Man, they are just coming on. You can harvest a spot and walk around the bush and you didn't get half of them. They are so good though. Flowers are still going here, and that thing is just crawling up the. I have to cut that down for sure. This area is really filling in nicely. I love these little droopy ones. The hummingbirds like them. Long and thin. And the grass is taking over and taking off. And look at this trellis of grapes. We've been eating a little bit at a time. I don't think they're going to get too terribly big. Oh my. Those are sweet. I just feel bad taking. I'm just surprised that the smaller ones aren't, growing the same speed as on the same bunch. Kind of interesting. And they are wonderful. Oh, these are so gorgeous. Have one last bloom here. Oh my goodness, we have another flamingo. Huh. Not sure where that came from. It looks like they're two very similar. So they may be from the same flock, I'm not sure. This plant is crazy. It grows so tall, and all the blooms are pretty much done here. We are thinking about maybe taking some of that big grass by the water feature and bringing it over here. Just kind of putting grasses here, and I think we're going to put another tree or something back here to kind of fill that space in. It's a lot of hardscape with that fence. Oh my gosh. It's been a while since I've been out here. I'm really good at planting stuff. I love planting. I just don't harvest things. It's kind of wild. So let's see how the tomatoes are doing. They are good. And I would definitely say Wanda's plant is outperforming mine. It's actually bent over. It's probably need to maybe add some sticks. It'd probably be about 10 foot tall at this point. The basils are seeding out, so I need to come back there and trim these off, and then before it gets too cool, harvest those and dry those out. Thai peppers are coming on, so those will be tasty. The sage is going crazy, and the 2 tomatoes. That may be all we get. The San Marzanos. And let's go check the persimmon. Now Tanya came out here and took about, I think, a third or half of the fruit off. But I don't know that they're going to get much bigger. Now these get harvested, I think after the first frost you harvest them. So they're really hard and firm right now. And they're pretty, I think, hard and firm when you harvest them, but they're sweeter. But look how much the fruit's just bending the trees. Pretty wild. Nature's pretty cool.